Hey guys, we are back with a second behind the track, this time for my second single of my upcoming album, Suspiria. The song's called Kill Shot. It's an exciting one. It was one that was an obvious single choice for me. And to me, it sounds a little like a fictitious James Bond song, almost like a sci-fi James Bond that hasn't yet to be made. So let me know if you've heard the track already. It should be out by the time this video is up. But if not, let's just get familiar with what it's about. I'll play you some of the verse and the chorus. Straight into the chorus. All right, why don't we start diving deeper by getting to the drum tracks for this. All right, now let's check out the drums and all its separate parts. I never quite realized how robotic and almost like a fast minimal techno track just in the drums. Yeah, let's dive deeper into the kicks maybe. So I have a main kick, nice and full, very clean. Then I have a low kick that's filling the gaps. The space between the main kick is filled with this lower, much more rougher, raw kick. Then we can introduce the snares, reverb, and some claps. Now let's bring in the hats. Yeah, almost like minimal techno, super minimal. All made on Native Instruments Battery 4. Couple of arrangements of it. That's pretty much probably what's in the chorus. Breakdown. Yeah, the breakdowns I try to like get away from. If it's a 4/4 track, the breakdown needs to be the beat. Some filter effect. Go back to the main kick. Yeah, not a whole lot. Surprisingly, it's a much cleaner and simpler drum pattern than my majority of my songs, but it's got a good swing to it. I like it. All right, now off to the bass. This is the final bass track. Got a few things going on. Very EBM-y, very dark. You hear the song, the progression in there, chord progression. Let's hear it with the drums for a sec. Let's listen to the bass tracks alone. This was the final bass stem, but I can go into the bass group I have here and see what we got. So I have a sub. Yeah, I don't know if that's audible. But yeah, good little low end sub. Now that's the main bass. Let's see, I have a bass roll. I even have a wobble of some kind. Yeah, it's that was quick. Yeah, nice little wobble. And then we'll have what I call a squeakly. Wow. Yeah, this is almost not even a bass sound, but it just lent itself to this group, so I kept them all together. And I have another bass track called Dub. Crazy. Let's listen to the low-end bass stuff with the drums up for a sec. Added the swiggly. Let's add the main bass. Quite a lot of parts. I do aim to finally do a track where it only has one bass track on it, but time will tell when that will happen. You know, to be honest with you, it's really a matter of layering it well. That just makes for a delicious bass sound, ultimate bass sound than, you know, its sonic source. All right, so you get the idea. Why don't we move on to the synths now? The final synth track, very reverby. The bass and drums were pretty dry. I have a chord progression, some stabs that are kind of driving this. Very nightimey. The pad, it's building up. Let's now dive into the synth track, see what we have. A good little pattern that plays all the way through. Nice techie thing. Something that adds rhythm, something that locks with the drums, with the bass, and creates almost like an anchor point for the synths to kind of sit on top. I might have a second one. Yeah, I call this one Bounce. Okay, now I want to know what these things were. I have one called Phil. Yeah, this one's just super noisy, so much signal on this. And yeah, something called East, obviously, because it sounds kind of oriental. Now let's on to the lead. I think this is called lead 1. And lead 2. Yeah, these are kind of sitting together with another rhythmic pattern called trance. I have a sine type sequence. I think as you can see, some of these come in and out. They're not always all playing with each other. I think it's the more rhythmic ones that are always there, like this. Let's see what this one is. Oh wow, something super heavy. And a pluck sound. Yeah, that pluck is one of the main parts of the track. Now let's talk about the stab. I think this is the stab. Yep. Yeah, the stab and the chord were something that was unique to this song. I don't think I recreated that on any other tracks. I usually have a chord, something deeper that just kind of takes some brightness away, but that stab is there the whole time. Yeah, it follows the progression, it builds it. Right, I think there's a good amount of pads on this. I'm gonna actually kind of play them all at the same time. Yeah. Super digital, but big. Nice. Now let's listen to all of that together. Dense, but you can actually hear everything. I think everything is being EQ'd pretty well. You heard the swap there. You heard the swap there. Let's actually listen to that a little bit more closely, because quite a few synth parts dropped out and they were replaced by a few other ones. So even though it's dense, not everything's playing at the same time. All right, I think you get an idea of the synths. So now let's move on to the vocals. I'm gonna play you the main vocals. It's done by the same vocalist, Bailey, session vocalist, did Part of Me. She's been part of a couple of my albums by now. We've done a few things together, quite a few. But I think, she's amazing on this, as always. Let me just play you the solo version of her voice. I'm gonna try to find my first verse.
In the dark of the night, I took my aim with a loaded heart. I played a deadly game through the shadows. I watched you slip away. Had you in my sights, but you still escaped. Once fell for lies, didn't compromise.
Yeah, you hear more voices coming in for the chorus.
Is now the hunted, but you're still mine. With fearful eyes, couldn't sympathize. Still got what I wanted, though I missed my shot.
All right, that was the final clean mixed vocals. Let's actually go listen to some of the stems. I'm gonna actually activate the full track. Okay, so there's almost always,
I took my aim.
yeah, this is just the lead. It's already big enough. This is just one lead sound.
Played a deadly game through the shadows.
But then I have a double.
Watched you slip away.
This is just the doubles.
Had you in my
Filtered.
sights, but you still escaped. Once fell for lies,
Chorus,
didn't
solo lead,
compromise.
doubles,
The hunt is now the hunted,
it was spoken
but
word.
you're still mine. With fearful eyes, couldn't sympathize. sympathize.
Nice way to harmonize.
Still
The
got what
spoken
I
wordy,
wanted,
lower
though I
harmony.
missed the shot.
Let's play the solo lead part of the vocals in the chorus and then compare it with the doubles there.
Once fell for lies.
Right, now let's play the double. Sorry.
Didn't once fell
Yeah,
for
pretty faint, pretty faint.
Didn't
The doubles are pretty faint because I have this,
The hunters now the hunted.
I wanted to fill it up with that lower harmony, as you can hear.
With fearful eyes, couldn't sympathize. Still got what I wanted, though I missed my shot.
All right, in this next section, I think I have some different vocal parts that come in. This is sort of like the post-chorus. Let me play it at the right spot.
Took the kill shot.
Yeah, there we go.
Missed the kill shot.
Something of a gang vocal. And a
Took
whisper.
the kill shot. Took the kill shot. Missed the kill shot.
All right, now
Missed the kill shot.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to play the vocals and I'm gonna build the song back up with it. So just starting from the vocals in the second verse.
In the dark of the night, I took my aim with a loaded heart. I played a deadly game.
Now I'm gonna add the
Through
drums.
the shadows, I watched you slip away. Had you in my sights, but you still escaped. Once
Now with the bass.
didn't compromise. The hunters now the hunted, but you're still mine.
Let's add the synths.
Fearful eyes, couldn't sympathize. Though I missed the shot.
Something interesting happens. I don't know if you can tell, but literally my vocals is on its own track and the entire song is on another track. I did that because I wanted a section in the breakdown
In the dark of
Let's play the breakdown. This is the breakdown. The vocals is unfiltered, but the entire track goes away and slowly builds up to a filter. Let's listen to that again. And in order to do this, I had to put all the other tracks into the same section and then filter out basically the all the tracks outside the vocals.
In the dark of the night, I took my aim with a loaded heart. I played a deadly game through the shadows. I watched you slip away.
Right now the filter's gone, the full track kicks in.
You still escape.
Little sweep there. Here we go. You know, I gotta be honest with you, that whole song sweep scenario where you only hear the vocals and the song comes back up, that was inspired by like early 2000s Kylie Minogue. There was at least a couple of tracks on her records that did that, and I've never tried that before. It's a little bit of a pop approach, so almost like something I haven't done before on my songs, but that kind of like pop treatment on this track in particular really kind of gave it a little bit more gloss, given that, we have some more traditional, darker synth and, EBM sort of synth progressions, but, mixed in with some pop elements, which is, I think, what makes this song cool. All right, so that was behind the track of Kill Shot, my second single from Digital Suspiria coming out early next year. Let me know how you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more stuff like this. yeah, that was it. I really enjoyed kind of walking you guys through it. So thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.